Hey guys, so I decided to just do a little chit chat, get ready with me type video. And I thought I would just do this since it's gonna be one of those like pre-shower, just try out a new makeup look type days, I guess. So that's what we're going for. But right now I have to take off the makeup I put on today, just a regular day, and then we can get into it. Okay, so I'm back, I'm clean faced. And I just wanted to put up a picture of what I'm going to be going for today. So what I love about this, I know it's almost springy looking, but I feel like it's just kind of a more glamified, clean girl with the updated cheek that everyone's doing the overblushed look. So I really liked that and kind of playing with adding the overblushed look, which I never do. I feel like even when I put the tiniest bit of blush, I look crazy, but I really want to try this. Something else I wanted to do is this has kind of a shiny but mattified look to it, which I've been seeing everywhere right now. People applying powder a bit differently to bake under the eyes. So instead of like doing a full bake and wasting a lot of product, like just adding a little bit and then spraying it like onto your face. So I thought I really wanted to try that and see if I like it. The only thing is I do not have a velour puff, which most people are using to apply it, and we'll see if it works out. So this is really just a little bit of playtime. I'm not sure how close I'm going to be able to actually get to this, especially because I don't have many of these peachy to like mauve-y type products, but I thought it'd be fun just to kind of chit chat and give it a whirl. So we will see. For starters though, because there is a bit of a glowy look underneath, I do want to reapply some of my moisturizer, even though again, I'm just going to be taking a shower after this and taking it all off. But one of my tried and trues, as you can see, that I literally split it in half, that I can get all the last little bits. But this is the La Roche-Posay Double Repair Moisturizer, which you can kind of see. So I'm gonna go in with this first, just because I think it's so imperative to have like an incredibly hydrated base as you start with anything like this where it's kind of skin focused. So, oh my God, I did not get enough. I'm really down to my last little bits here. Again, for this video, I'm not really focusing as much about trying to tell you like every product I'm using, as much as more just kind of chat through my channel and like some of the things I have upcoming. I hope everyone really liked my last video about the Black Friday haul. I've actually been using a lot of the products that I had already started posting about. Some of them have come in, and I actually got a lot more stuff than I said I was gonna buy. So I think I'm gonna do another video going over all these additional products that I got and reviewing the ones that I think are like exceptional. I don't really want to talk about the ones that kind of stunk, and like do a rating or anything, but definitely want to like clue people in on some of the products that I found that have been like really phenomenal, because I feel like I've already had some standouts. And as I'm going through this, I was gonna, as a next step, put on my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the color Fiji. I actually think this doesn't even match. I basically never wear foundation ever, so this is probably gonna be like the worst color match that's ever existed. So we are praying to the makeup gods right now. But yeah, so really excited about the products I had picked up. Mainly a lot of like my skincare in relation to like, I've gotten so many like Bath and Body products, not the store, but Bath and Body type products to try out. And I've just been really pleased with the formulations and how they've made my skin feel. And I don't know, it's actually been really bad because it's made me start kind of obsessing over getting even more and continuously trying, instead of just being pleased with the ones I already got. But we will see. One thing that I'm still pending to get is like, I really want to find just like a super amazing smelling body oil. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave some comments to let me know ones that you've tried and have been liking. I know there's a lot of really TikTok famous ones at the moment. I know I'm not a huge vanilla smelling girl. I actually want to be so bad. I think it's like so cozy and aesthetic, but a lot of vanilla things actually make me feel sick. like after a while, you know? So it's really not my vibe. Also, you can see I literally am like pushing all of this product like into my ears too, just so it matches a little bit better, and down my neck, which is so important for kind of color matching and so that you don't have any weird lines. That being said, as I did not take my makeup off well enough, there we go. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions for like really awesome scented oils, I've been trying to focus on having a more hydrating base between my body wash and then the lotion I'm using and things like that, and focusing more there. And then I feel that once I have a good base of moisture, that it would be okay if I have an oil that's scented. And I say that because a lot of scented products are stripping, so most of the body washes that I've been trying lately are non-scented, in order to, again, preserve kind of hydration and the hydration barrier. So I'll be reviewing some of those, but we'll be excited to make that video. And then also, I guess, as I have a new product. So this is the Tarte C Hydra Clear. This is just a mini because it came as like a free sample. Not my favorite, but it is my lightest right now, and I am so insanely pale. So it's a good concealer for me to use at this moment. So that's why we are using that one. Other things happening in my life right now. So I actually am going to New York this weekend and am really considering doing my first little vlog to talk about just my trip and how it's going and the places that I'm going. I'm visiting a friend up there, really, really excited. I know she's already said she doesn't want to be in the video, and I totally get that. I actually had so many apprehensions about starting a YouTube channel because I really didn't want to be in them. But my favorite YouTube channels are when the creators are actually in the videos. So I was like, all right, I got to make the type of content that I like the best, because how am I going to know if anyone else is going to like it if it's not even what I enjoy, you know, watching and subscribing to. So that was that. So I totally understood why she said she didn't want to be in any of it, but yeah, so we'll be rolling through. I leave on, well, today is Tuesday and I leave Thursday like super, super early. I'm taking the Amtrak up. So really excited for that and looking forward to the train ride. I've only started taking Amtrak up to New York. I think last year might have been the first year I'd ever done it. And it's like really nice being able to, you know, sometimes I work from my laptop while I'm there. I go so early that I can like generally sleep on it. Otherwise I have a huge problem trying to sleep on like airplanes or trains, whatever, unless it's like a red eye or a black eye flight, like type of situation. So that is what I will be doing. So I think I leave at 4 a.m. So I will definitely have my options of sleeping and / or working, or both, you know, just not at the same time. But yeah, really, really excited to be going up there. New York is like my favorite place in the entire world. Like I am so obsessed with New York. I follow all New York teams. My parents are actually from up there. So really, really excited to be visiting. And I'm so blessed that I have friends who live there, so I can visit with them, get to spend time, but then also crash in my favorite city. So hoping to have some cool little excursions, go to some cute little, you know, bars, restaurants, thrifting, the whole gambit. So really excited for that. And as I was going on, I was using the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer. This does not have the color name right on it, I don't think. So I will not be able to tell you. This is like the one that's super kind of more gray themed for contour versus really just bronzing. So I went in with that. Super excited because now I'm gonna try the step where I'm gonna actually try and bake my under eyes, and we'll see if that does anything to help, if I can get it to just all meld in with my face. I think that would be such a cool little hack. So this is the Laura Mercier, like super popular translucent powder. I will say the other issue I'm gonna probably have with this hack that I've been seeing everyone do besides not having the velour poof, I'm just going to use this big e.l.f. pointed powder brush, is that with that, they're able to be a little bit more targeted, having that as the tool. Also, I've seen most people who are doing this hack also use two powders. They're using like a translucent powder and then also like some like colored powder that's pigmented towards their skin tone, and I think that might actually be a little bit more of the key. So I don't know if just my translucent setting powder is going to be enough to do the trick, but we will try. And I've done plenty of times before where I try baking and then just setting like immediately, or like putting on a translucent powder and then setting in between, like where you continuously use a setting spray to set like between different layers. So we will see. As a matter of fact, actually, I might just set my whole face and just see how this goes, to be honest, with the translucent powder. So I don't know. We'll see if it like really does anything too different for a blurring. Like that's the whole point. It's supposed to be like a blurring and mattifying and make your pores seamless and whatever. So we'll see if it does that. I'm skeptical. But do not have great recommendations on setting powders. I am not a full coverage girly basically ever, so I don't have a lot of experience. So again, if you guys have suggestions or want me to try anything, I can definitely start taking recs and doing that. But here we go. Okay, so again, I think since I did the velour puff, I wasn't really able to get too much product buildup to kind of have, again, almost like that like faux baking. Also, please do not mind that I still have like some makeup from before, but it's a smoky eye that we're kind of doing, so it won't matter once I start putting makeup on. But the setting spray I'm going to use is, oh, she's been well loved, but it's the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set. So this is the only mattifying one I have. I do also have like the MAC Fix Plus, which you've seen me use in videos before, and some of the other popular ones that I'll generally tend to, and I have glowier looks. But obviously we're trying to be a little bit matte here, so I'm going in with this. So I do also know, I actually don't love the application of this one. I do feel like it kind of does, as people complain, like the spitty type formula, not even the formula, but the applicator just kind of like spits versus has like a fine gentle mist. I know this is so old. I know e.l.f. has actually been really improving and upping their game for a lot of their mists. I know there's some influencers I even follow who kind of have some of the newer e.l.f. ones and really swear by them over even like, you know, some of the tried and trues like the Urban Decay, like all day or all-nighter spray, whatever it's called. But yeah, so I don't know. That actually looks pretty good. That looks pretty flawless. I don't know. I like that. I definitely don't think I applied as much kind of contour as I probably should have. But I might actually, I didn't even have this pulled out to use originally, but I might even go in with the Physicians Formula Murmuru butter bronzer. I definitely butchered that, but it's the butter bronzer that, you know, was a cult classic from forever ago. I'm just going to apply this on a little bit more because I feel like I need a little bit more definition in my cheeks to really get the effect that I'm going for this look. And this is always fine to try and build up products. I think that's, you know, always the best way to go. Go light and then go back in and apply more if you need it, so that you're never, it's easier to add and harder to take away when it comes to makeup. So definitely think that's always been a great rule of thumb, because I am someone who's heavy-handed with everything in life, because I always think more is more, and then I forget more is certainly not always more. That applies to my cooking too. It took me so long to learn to cook, so I was always like, you add a ton of spices, right? Like, that's gotta be best. But no, not always. You do not always want every spice and all the spices in your cooking. So, you know, there's that. Okay, so as you can see, I kind of built up a little bit more coverage. I guess I shouldn't say coverage, but built up a little bit more of the coloring just from the bronzer, because this is kind of like a very like heavy bronzed look. So definitely wanted to be able to capture that. So the next thing I'm actually gonna start doing is my eyes. And for that, I kind of have like two different eyeshadow products that I would like to use. So this is from So Old. Like this is like the Create Your Own like Buxom palettes, and they don't get enough love. Like they've always been phenomenal and stayed phenomenal. I just think that they don't put out like super exciting products or like a whole new line of things. But this was like one of my first like more like luxury purchases, and still chef's kiss, like use her all the time. So I'm gonna go in actually with this color, and again, this is a Create Your Own custom pan palette, so I don't have the colors just like listed, but it's kind of this fawny, tawny brown that, again, I always love a brown that looks like it can shift either warm or cool toned. I think they're so great. And yeah, so I'm gonna go in with that. And so this, it looks like she's really heavy-handed kind of in the like the corners and like drops below, which is why I was saying it doesn't matter. I didn't get all of my mascara off from before because we are going in very heavily under the eye with the brown tone. So yeah, but I'm really kind of getting back also to my New York trip. I'm so excited to be showing you guys like a vlogging style. That was something I've always really wanted to have on my channel and like since inception. And it's actually a majority of what I've been starting to just watch, like the own type of content that I kind of prefer to consume. So really excited to be hopefully doing that. I'm just kind of nervous almost to like go into different places and just have my camera out. Like it's actually like a little bit nerve-wracking, you know, like to just have my phone out all the time. I also always feel like I don't want to look just like I'm that person who's not being in the moment and enjoying and is really just focused on technology. I try and strike a really good balance of that, you know, whenever I'm out and about, and not to just always be on my phone and stuff. But I don't know, I just think it'd be really fun to bring you guys like along the journey with me, that I will be there and having a good time. So I just kind of figured I will get over my little scaries and just do it and bring you guys in. So awesome. Okay, so again, this is kind of like a general smoky eye to some degree. So I always think actually what makes a smoky eye even prettier is like when they're a little bit perfectly imperfect, if that makes sense. It gives more of that to me, almost like a smoky, actual dramatic effect. And again, with a smoky eye, the classic again is to make sure that you are building layers of color and layers of product so that everything blends more seamlessly than, you know, just coming in heavy-handed for starters. So sometimes it takes so long to blend. Actually, as a matter of fact, sometimes if you're having issues blending your eyeshadow, which is actually me all the time, that probably means it could not just be you. Sometimes your skin is not hydrated enough, and that means you have, which I definitely do, sometimes dry patches, especially like in this region, like right under my eyebrow. So definitely make sure that you're using good like hydrating products and not taking up like any of your medicated products up too high, because that will oftentimes create a drying effect in that region, since that's again that very delicate eye skin just like under your eyes. Honestly, sometimes I almost feel like it's more delicate than the skin under my eyes. So just saying, be careful, ladies and gentlemen, with the products that you are using. Okay, so I'm gonna take there's like a little tiny brush that came with this palette. I'm gonna take this brush and actually try and be a little bit more precise getting underneath my eye. If you can see, I might even go back to this again using this product because I think it is really pretty dark underneath her eyes, and I might even actually go, oh, I don't know, this is actually getting pretty dark. So hopefully I'm doing this in a way that you're able to see it well. Yeah, actually this has a lot of build up to it. See, again, love these Buxom palettes and the colors. Like, I think they're really just buildable, blendable. They got it all. Awesome. I do think I'm still gonna have to go in with my eye pencil, so I will do that now. Actually, no. First, I want to get, so like and let me just double check this picture again. But in the picture, it looked like she has like definitely like a high shine like through like her actual lid, and then it looks like she actually replicates it a little bit underneath the lid. This color was actually so impossible, I feel like, for me to find like in my stash, because it's like this, like, I think it's a brown that shines a champagne, which I don't really have that, I don't think. But I do have this Charlotte Tilbury Starry Eyes to Hypnotize palettes. This was like one of the holiday palettes from like many years ago, and I totally bought into the branding of this, completely fell for it. Even though, I mean, Charlotte Tilbury has beautiful formulation, but it was really about the packaging. I was like obsessed. But I did come across this color, which I feel like kind of has that brown shift to that champagne-y gold that I think will be perfect for this look. So here's to hoping. Again, we're just having fun today. In my mind, this is all for funsies, and we will see if this comes out anything like the photo. Oh yeah, no, this might have been a mistake. This is glittery and not necessarily shiny, but I think we're just gonna do our best and roll with it, because it was really, today was about having an experience, and I think we're doing that. So thank you for joining me on my TED Talk and my journey. Okay, awesome. So I chatted it there. I need to grab, actually I'm just gonna use this. So actually I'm just grabbing like a smaller, like little kind of pencil brush to be able to pack this on underneath my eye, because it looks like she definitely had it in both areas, because it was creating kind of those like dimension to the high points of the eye, or areas that you'd want to make your eyes look wider. So generally, like, it has an eye widening effect when you put a bright color at the top of your eyelid, but then also when you kind of like bring down kind of with reflection, the light of your eye, like literally the light, like kind of the sparkle down past your eye. So that often has like a widening effect. So if you want to go for more like the doe-eyed versus siren, like that's a really good way. Again, of course, depending on how much other like liner and stuff you use. Awesome. Okay, so we did that. So now I want to go in actually with my pencil to darken it up. And again, this is like my favorite pencil, the Pat McGrath Labs. It's well loved. Look how small she is. Pencil in the color Shade. This is like amazing, and it's like so broken. I will say I hate trying to sharpen these. I feel like they always break, and that could just be me. Instead of sharpening super well, I really hate that about them. But I feel like what everyone used to love about the, goodness, what brand was that? It might have been like Bobbi Brown. There was like a small obsession with Bobbi Brown pencils for a while, and because they were supposed to be like super blendable and creamy, and but then they stayed and had really great staying power once they kind of dried down. I feel like these are that girl now. Like these are that girl. So, oh my god, please don't judge me. I'm so bad at actually doing like eyeliner. I often will have to grab my actual eyelashes and pull them down so I can get a kind of clean attack at putting the eyeliner on. Part of that too is because I have like insanely hooded eyes, and then I feel like I just have like, and always have, it's not like 'cause I'm old, but like so much skin right there that it's like kind of hard to get a clean line unless I do that, which again, that might be why I also somewhat default to smoky eye looks, because it's like you don't have to be so perfect, which is amazing. Or as my niece would say, amazing. That's what she always says. It's super cute. Awesome. Okay, so the classic, they're sisters, not twins. So that is where we're going with that. Let me actually do my eyebrow, because there's a really beautiful fluffy eyebrow moment in this picture. So definitely want to be able to emulate that. So first I'm gonna go in with the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I really don't have a preferred like brow gel. I definitely, because I have such dark brows, like I don't really like doing any of the tinted ones. I just go in with the clear, and then I will, once that dries down, we'll start filling in around it. So that I've found really works the best for me. I do think if I had lighter eyebrows, I'd probably go in with like a tinted brow gel. just to be able to help them kind of like pop a little bit more. But I got a pale face and some dark eyebrows, so don't really feel like I need to be doing too much work there to help them pop. Awesome. Okay, cool. And I'm not gonna do my brows as fluffy as like what is in that picture, because again, your girl's got some really dark eyebrows, so I'd be looking crazy if I tried to like fill them in. But awesome. Okay, so again, I'm actually going in with the Pat McGrath brow pencil in the color Shade, and generally I feel like I just actually trace the bottom line of my natural brow like very, very, very gently. And I hope this is picking up well. And then I try and do like and define a little bit of my tail. And I actually really feel like most of this is me just trying to get like product down a little bit. Like just like raw, like use the crayon to make sure that there's a little bit. And then I actually do more of my shaping with my my little spoolie brush. And kind of work that way to get the product in. So I actually have really bad like brow tails, as you can see. I was just having to fill it in a bit more. So that's definitely part of what I focus in on. And yeah, mind you, I'm so sorry, this crayon's like really breaking off like into my eyebrows because I did such a poor job of sharpening it this last time. But anyway, okay, so this is what I mean. So I don't really like having harsh lines in my eyebrows. So this is where I just kind of like use like a flicking motion. And I do this also because I'm using a color. So I don't want it to like drag and create a line like past my eyebrow up with the product I'm picking up. So I do kind of a flicking motion. Also because it makes your eyebrows hard, so like you're kind of having to brush through since I put on the product first. But I feel like this also helps me set like where my eyebrow is. Towards the tail I actually do a little bit more of a rolling action because it's kind of hard to flick, and then it helps me control a little bit more. I also just generally take my finger and try and like retain like where it actually is sitting. Okay, so I'll just repeat that on this side. Awesome. But yeah, I try and keep it like a little bit natural because my brows are just so dark. Like I just don't really want to have like a super defined line. Like I try and create, I call them like suggestions. Like I create like suggestions of like where my brow is versus like, oh my God, I just got glitter all over my forehead. So we're gonna, again, not mind that. We're just having fun. So sometimes I'll go back in a little bit more and try and clean up that line. This is actually getting a little crazy today, so hopefully I don't end up looking wild. But it will have been a success. I feel like I was a success with doing the... I feel like it was a success with doing the powder and mist, so I really liked that. And yeah, I will see if I can call it a day if I like how the blush comes out. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna actually, I totally forgot to like go back in with this tail. Also, I promise we'll get a better setup one day. Like I'm literally crouching over my like little sink counter area, but no matter. Okay, so again, sisters not twins, and that's what we're rolling with here. Okay, so we've got the fluffier brows, we got that. So mascara is actually one of the last things I generally like to put on just because I don't want the other product like getting into it. So, I mean, I switch it up, but I feel like that's what I'm gonna go with today is like, I'll do that one thing last. So I'm gonna actually go in and try and do the blush. This is definitely not the perfect color, but I don't have a deep enough pink to totally emulate what was done in that picture, but I'm going in with the Milani Luminoso powder blush, and I'm gonna try and build that up. Again, I have a lot of, ooh, I didn't get my, give me 1 second, I need to get my blush brush. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot of like the peachy mauve type blushes or products to really be doing some of this, so that is gonna have to be good enough for today. So this is like so heavily built up. So this is actually one thing I like about the Luminoso blushes is I feel like I'm not normally, like I said, like an overblusher, so it's actually really hard to overblush with these because you need to like really build them up. So this will probably take me a hot second to actually get the product there. But again, it helps me from being heavy-handed since like I'm the type of person who goes in, like would go crazy. Like I don't think I could ever use the Rare Beauty blushes that like everyone always complains are too pigmented. And then some people are like, I love that it's so pigmented because, you know, you don't have to use much and you'll literally have it for your entire life. Yeah, no, I would absolutely accidentally put on so much because I do not have a light hand. See, I feel like I'm starting to look like that one girl in Shrek that's like supposed to be, I think, like an ugly stepsister or something and just wearing too much makeup. This is why I don't like wearing a ton of makeup, because I feel like I start looking a little crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's just in my head. But okay, cool. Let me double check this photo too again, because I want to make sure that like we are pulling all of this together. Yeah, sure. That's okay. I think this is gonna be like not the best tutorial, but we will get there. Okay, so this is not like, obviously I have a different complexion than the photo, but something that I always do with like when it comes to my blush, just so it looks less crazy, like it looks more of like a natural color that would be on my face, I go in and I put it through my temples, and generally like, actually I maybe still will do it, I generally stamp it like in through my eye. Generally I actually do this while I'm doing my base, just so that I'm not picking up the product I had already put down, but I'm gonna do this after the fact because I think it needs it really desperately. So cool. So as you're seeing, I'm still just trying to build it up because she really has like so much on. I wish I would have had a better blush to really do this with. I mean, I'm pretty blushed up and red. Okay, so she does actually have like quite a bit on her nose, like, ooh, through like the middle of her nose as well. Like, so I'm gonna kiss the top of my nose with it. This will actually help because this, it's a luminizer, so it does have like that sheen. So I think it is, which I should not have had a luminizer for here because she has a matte, but that's okay. It does help with the luminizer for the nose because she is shiny almost like in her T-zone. So like really surprised that works. But yeah, so we are good. Okay, so I think we're good and overblushed and pink. So, oh my goodness, it is like so much crazier in person. I wish you could like actually like correctly see that this is like, have so much blush on. Okay, so I just took, so I feel like this is pulling together better. I'm gonna do my lips first because I have like, it makes me feel like I look crazy that I have like such a different color. I normally line my lips, but this one kind of almost has like the feathered outline. So I think I'm just gonna try and like almost overline with this lipstick. And I totally forgot to say that this is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I figured this is like the best of the mauve type pink lipsticks. So I felt like this would get me the closest, or it has kind of that nude underbase, which is why everyone loves it so much. So I'm gonna intentionally feather the edges. This is kind of a trick too. If you wanna have like an over drawn lip, but not have a harsh line and for it to look totally crazy, it kind of like just leads like a suggestion of like where your lip actually is. And actually what I might do is, this is like another, just I like to have the consistency of color through my lip. So I'm gonna actually just add consistency of color of my lip, like match through my face. So I think I'm actually just gonna like kind of tap some in to the rest of the makeup so that it's just more of that consistent color. Maybe add a little bit to my temples. Cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and do my mascara, which is like last step. I know this is like a little cray and I feel like not exactly like the photo, but I will again, just say this was for funsies. So the last product we use is the Benefit, I think it's a roller lash. Yeah, the roller lash. These are all mini. Like, you can tell that I have an affinity for always using minis. So I definitely like to do like the trial packs of things first and then like determine if I really like them. But it takes me so long to get through the trial packs that, you know, I've got to, I guess I eventually buy the real ones. I don't know. Okay, I don't think this is totally dried, but this is what I usually do. Hopefully it has. And of course it hasn't. But yeah, generally you should be able to, like, it starts to dry out and then you can kind of just like brush it off, especially if you did a full base, because then you kind of have the powder that's helping you to create a barrier so that you can just scrape it off. So anyway, actually the mascara I feel like kind of saved this look so I look less crazy. But also, I'm so sorry, the angle of this little ring light I have is so super unflattering right there. So you can even see now that I'm like in proper ring light territory, I look less old with like, it kept like making me look like I had these like crazy eye bags. But this is the final look. I think that was like such like an unhinged reveal, but this is the final look. So again, we created the fluffier brow, kind of the overblushed look like through here. It so doesn't look it on camera. Like, I don't know why, like it looks so pretty and flawless versus being overblushed, but I have so much product on my face. But then also focusing on that, I wanted to have the feathered lip and kind of having those peachier, mauvier tones throughout the look. So I think this really, shockingly for how chaotic I feel like this video was, came out really beautifully. But let me know in the comments what you think about it. But really excited to keep putting out content and having you guys watch my channel grow and really just starting this new vlogging journey. So really excited for that. And yeah, but thanks so much for watching this and looking forward to the next one. Bye.